Hello, I see a few here on already. Hi, Karen. It's Sheila. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Paul, I think I saw you on here a few minutes ago.
Yep, I'm here.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. How you doing?
Doing all right. We
That's
got
good.
through this rough couple of weeks and things are going to be good from here on out. Hi, Kathy.
Hey,
Hi.
oh
Oh,
gosh.
tell me his name again.
Her name is River Song.
River Song. That's very pretty.
There she
Um,
is. She
Hi.
had to be shaved because we were poor caretakers of a long-haired dog.
Oh,
She's not super curly like a poodle, like some doodles are. She instead has waves and she has this really fine. I've never seen such fine hair on a dog before. It gets in your teeth and
aw.
things. And and it just got matted. And
Yeah.
and so when I took her in, they just couldn't really get them out. So now we have to be better caretakers.
I understand. We adopted a standard poodle
Oh,
summer, and I was like, oh, holy cow, that's a lot of work.
it is.
But
Yeah.
she's a sweetheart and she needed a home, so it's all good. But you know,
Yeah. I
yeah,
know.
yeah, the grooming is a big deal. I just got her groomed this Sunday and she looks like a new dog.
Yeah, this one is like they were able to leave her ears because it's like her ears, she's just not curly, but it's just that fine hair. And I've never had a dog like this before.
Yeah,
I've had dogs that shed a lot, but she sheds different,
yeah.
you know.
I get it. Well, speaking of dogs, mine will be barking at some point tonight, so I apologize for that. Um, it's just
Mine,
life.
mine might too. They're the beagle variety.
Oh, they make some good sounds. I was babysitting a hound dog last weekend and I had one years ago and I was like, oh, I forgot what they're like. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go turn my camera off actually for a little bit. And can you guys all see my screen where it says 2024 cookie program? Okay, good. And also just to give everybody heads up, I am recording this tonight. So if there's if it makes you uncomfortable to speak during a recording or to have your camera on or something, by all means just be aware of that. The only people I will share it with are other cookie cupboard managers who weren't able to join us tonight. All righty, so just to get started, I think everybody knows why you're here. This is our training for the cupboard managers this year. And let's see if my slides will advance the way they should. There we go. All right. As always, we always start out with a quick reminder of why we do what we do and why we're working with the cookie program. And that is to teach girls 5 essential skills. So I always just do the quick reminder of goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics are the things that girls gain from participating in the cookie program. Now, we all know that they also have the ability to gain the chance to fund their adventures and the fun things that they want to do with their troop. But we always want to remind people that this is the core reason, and research has shown this is what girls get out of the cookie program. All right, so changes. So for those of you who have done this before, there's very, very few changes this year. I'm really happy to say that we've got new cupboards in Stafford, one that's in Fredericksburg, kind of on the Stafford border, and another one in Atlee. So if you guys don't mind, and if you're comfortable, I'm going to ask people to just introduce themselves real quick. You have the option of turning on your camera if you'd like. You don't have to, but I'm just going to try to go through and call people out, and I'll have you introduce yourself. So Karen, you're showing up on my laptop first. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Karen Campbell. I'm probably your new one here in Stafford. I did this years and years and years ago, and I was asked to one up. So here I am.
Thank you. Kathy, you want to go ahead?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm Kathy Taylor. I've been doing this for a long time and I'm in Glen Allen.
Awesome. Pam, you're popping up next. If you feel comfortable sharing.
Yes, I am Pam Hill. Is my camera open? I don't know. Okay.
I don't see
I'm
you.
Pam Hill. I'm at the Stafford Fredericksburg border.
Awesome. And then Allie, if you're there. Again, only if you're comfortable. And I think, there you go.
Did you call? Sorry, I am home alone with a 2-year-old.
Oh, that's okay.
So
Jennifer, go ahead and introduce yourself.
anyway, see the 2-year-old?
Aw.
She's into everything. Anyway, I'm Jennifer Lowry and I am in Tappahannock and not sure how long I've been doing it, but it's been quite a while. So shh, can you say
Awesome.
hi?
Thank
So,
you.
That's where I'm at.
And she'll be a daisy in 3 years, right?
Maybe.
Okay. Allie, you want to go ahead?
Hey, Allie Griffin. This is actually my first time as a cupboard manager. We've always been really lucky to have Aaron Reeser host one in our area. So I'm actually partnering with Jen Newman and going to be running the cupboard together in the Alley area. But I've been a troop leader and a cookie manager for my troop probably 10 years more.
Yeah, I feel like you've been involved on many levels, many different
I
things.
have.
Yeah.
There's not many positions I haven't held
Yeah.
except for music council.
Well, again, thank you to Allie and Jennifer and Karen and Pam for stepping up and taking this on this year. Jen, I think we already did Jennifer Lowry. I can't tell. Joanne, if you're there, do you want to say hi? You're probably the person who's been doing this the absolute longest, Joanne Baldwin. Maybe not. Okay, we will jump back to Paul. I see you're on. You want to say hi real quick?
Yeah, hi, my name is Paul Plunkett. This is my second year as a cupboard in Midlothian. Looking forward to doing it again. I had a good time last year.
Great. And you were a really busy cupboard last year.
Yeah.
Really busy. All right, Virginia Ann, if you're there, do you want to say hi? Might still be muted. I know Virginia Ann sometimes has some connection issues. And I'll try one more time.
Hello?
Joanne, whoops, are you there?
Sheila, do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, I think I figured that one out real quick. Joanne Baldwin, Southside Service Unit, and I have lost track of how many years I have been doing product sales. As far as being a Girl Scout leader since 1984. So I don't know. Someone has the time somewhere, but I don't know what it is.
Your service has been incredible, and I know you've been doing a cupboard as long as I can remember. Back in the Reggie days, I think Kathy, you were doing one back then too.
Right. And Kathy,
Yeah.
right.
That's pretty incredible. All right, if I missed anybody and you want to hop on and say hi real quick, please feel free to do that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera back off then and move forward with our agenda for a little bit. So again, we have very little changes this year. We're excited to have three new cupboards coming on board this year. And one of the things that I would suggest is if you guys are comfortable, those of you who have experience, maybe being a lifeline to brand new people and you'd like to put your number in the chat so that you could share it with other people, please feel free to do that. I don't want to force anyone to do that because I know what a busy season it is. But if you'd like to be a lifeline, and if someone just wants to reach out and ask a question, that'd be awesome if you'd like to share. All right, I did want to touch base real quick. We do have some changes in the ordering process. So last year, I think I told you a little bit about this, but it seems to tweak a little bit every single year. So 3-4 years ago, the way the system worked is I would place an initial order with the bakery. I would place some orders for the cookie cupboards to start out with, and then every week I would determine whether or not we needed to order more cookies. And we would usually place additional orders 4 or 5 times throughout the season to kind of get us through the end and make sure we had the cookies we needed. It was standard procedure at that time that if I placed an order on Monday, I had the cookies by Thursday. And that's kind of how we set up the planned order process so that people, I could look at what we needed Monday morning and then make sure the cookies were here later in the week. So you're probably guessing that I'm coming to this, but that's no longer how the system works. So nowadays, we have a very important forecast that I submit in October where I try my best to predict exactly how many cookies we're going to sell each year. And then when I placed the initial order, our initial order had to be a certain percentage of what I forecasted back in the fall. Can only be a little bit above, only a little bit below, but it's right in a certain number that I'm trying to predict. And then if I want to order additional cookies throughout the season, I now no longer can get them quite as quickly. I have to place an order and they may not arrive for 8 to 10 days. And most of that goes back to transportation issues. I think it's a lot harder these days to have the ability to move cookies across the country. Anyway, so the reason I'm explaining that to you guys is I just kind of want you to know that we do put a lot of time and effort into trying to predict what cookies we will need. Last year, we had extra Thin Mints and Caramel Delights. And in my mind, those are always the two cookies you never want to run out of. But last year, we did run out of the peanut butter ones. So every year I go back and kind of reconfigure what that order is going to look like. So we've increased our peanut butters, both the patties and the sandwiches this year. And we've tried really hard to predict what we're going to use. And I placed one really big order with our initial order. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping we're going to have all the cookies we need at the warehouse from the beginning. And I'll go over it a little bit later how I send those cookies out to you. But I'm hoping that we ordered enough up front that we won't end up in a situation where we're waiting those 8 or 10 days and having to tell people to, hold off on their booth and things like that. So fingers crossed that we've got the right amount of cookies and the right mix of cookies without having too many left over, because we want to be good stewards of the girls' resources, and we still have to pay for cookies whether or not we sell them. So just want you guys to have that deeper understanding of kind of what goes into it. On other news, Digital Cookie is new to us this year. The good news is for cookie cupboard managers, it does not impact anything you do. You'll be working strictly through Smart Cookies. You may get questions about Digital Cookie, and we've got a lot of information on our website. And if you can't answer those questions, feel free to send people to the help desk, and we'll be happy to try to help them. I suspect the main question you're going to get is if people have orders for girl delivery through Digital Cookie, will that automatically transfer to Smart Cookies? It did during the pre-sale phase, but once we submitted that initial order, it no longer does. So we've been putting in several weeks for some more news, and we'll continue to put it in there. There's a report that parents or troop leaders can go into Digital Cookie and pull that report to see the additional girl delivered cookies to determine if a girl needs extra cookies to make those deliveries. But again, the good news is Digital Cookie really won't impact. You guys will only be working in Smart Cookies. All right, so the initial deliveries are taking place next week. Unfortunately, I still don't know what date they're coming out to different areas. I asked them again today if they could please send that to me, and as soon as I have those dates, I'll let you know. I know it's really hard to plan your life around knowing they're coming next week, but not actually knowing what day. So we're doing our best to get those to you. The subsequent deliveries will take place weekly, depending on your inventory and depending on demand. So Dunmar, our delivery company, delivers to everybody in our council, all of our cupboards. They're usually pretty easy to work with, and I try to get them deliveries Monday morning for any deliveries that are going to happen that week. If something fluky happens, sometimes you will see that I'll be running around with cookies in my car, or another staff person will be, because we'll be trying to get cookies to the right place. Some of you know I've had to come pick up cookies from your cupboard before to move them to someplace else. So we do the best we can to get the cookies where they need to be, whether it's through the delivery agents or another staff member. And then we always say, once the delivery comes to you, if you want to contact the next person on the list, because I tend to send the list out as one big list, and you can kind of see the order that you're in. If you wouldn't mind just texting the next person on the list and say, hey, they just left my house. The drivers are pretty good these days about contacting you, and they'll have everybody's number. But sometimes it's just an extra courtesy, hey, they left my house 2 hours later than I expected them to. And it kind of just gives you an idea of how things are running that day. All right. Usually I put together a tub of materials and send it out with Dunmar, but last year that didn't work so well. So this year I'm going to simply mail you some of the materials that you need. I'm going to be mailing you receipt books, and those are the receipt books that you'll keep track of all of the cookies that you distribute from the cupboard. I'll mail you an extra copy or two of the leader's guide, so you'll have that in case people will ask questions or somebody needs one. I'll send you some pens. I'll also send you 5 for 5 cards because people are usually looking for those at cupboards. If you want other materials, sometimes I send out clipboards. I'd be happy to mail that. And Karen and Allie and Jennifer and Pam, if you guys would let me know what size you would like for a hoodie. I did send hoodies to everybody this year as a thank you for taking on this position. And I've got hoodies I'd like to get to you guys as well. So we'll mail those to you too. If you need other supplies, let me know and I'm happy to get them to you. I'm just going to try really hard to use the mail instead of Dunmar to get them out this year. All right, planned orders, and this might be something new to some of you. Well, sorry, it's going to be barking time. So planned orders are when a troop can place an order for a cupboard, and they need to place it by 11:30 on Sunday evening. If they do that, we guarantee that those cookies will be available Friday or Saturday of that week. And if you have the cookies in your cupboard, you know, and they want to pick them up on Wednesday, that's fine. That's up to you. But it's like, just give us until Friday to make sure we can get the cookies out to where they need to be. So we recommend people use this system, and our leaders have really caught on to this and like it a lot because, again, it's a simple way to guarantee that they're going to have the cookies when they need them. So it's easy to use. Guarantees the cookies are going to be there. It can save a little bit of time for you guys in making sure that the transfers happen easily. You also have the ability to change a planned order. If somebody puts in a planned order and then they show up and they decide they only need 1 case of Thin Mints instead of 2, you've got the ability to edit that. So don't worry about that. And if you want to increase the amount of cookies that someone wants to pick up, that's strictly based on your inventory. If you know you've got it and you can add it on, go right ahead and do that. You just want to make sure that you can meet all your planned orders. And then another thing I would ask is if you would let me know, the system requires that I put in a time and a date for when planned orders are available for pickup from you. So if everybody could send me at least Friday or Saturday, and I mean, it only has to be an hour. You can say 3:30 to 4:30 on Fridays, or, you know, Saturday morning from 9 to 10. Whatever works best. And then for a lot of you, you've requested to have either call or text before showing up in the materials. And so that's what I've been including. And most people are getting used to that now. So, you know, again, if you say Saturday morning from 9 to 10, but you've got to be someplace until 10:30, you can make arrangements with those people. And the people who place the planned orders, you also have access to all their names. So if you need to reach out to them, you can. But in order to make the planned orders work, I have to put in the system a day and at least a 1-hour time block. So if you just send me an email after this tonight and let me know what's going to work best for you, I'll get that in there. Another thing about planned orders is the really busy cupboards, we tend to keep the planned orders running as long as possible into March. Some of the smaller cupboards will shut down the planned orders a little bit sooner because at some point it gets to, you know, if there's we have a wonderful cupboard out in Northern Neck, Angie runs a cupboard out there. And if it turns out that she's just short 1 case of cookies at one point, we get to the point where we can't always make that happen. So if we see areas where they're maybe not quite as busy, or I need to pull cookies from someplace, we might shut those planned orders down like the second or third week in March and not extend it for the whole program. So just be aware of that. All right, and now we're going to take a quick look at what the Smart Cookies dashboard looks like. And for those of you who are new to doing this, if you haven't worked in Smart Cookies much, we'll make sure that you've got your log on, and I'll be happy to work with you individually if you've got any hesitation about making any of these changes in Smart Cookies. But basically, you will only have access to your cupboard, not to any other cupboards. And this is what your dashboard is going to look like when you first log in. When you want to go in and look at your planned orders, which is what I'm going to be doing every Monday morning. I'm going to pull a report that shows me the planned orders for the entire council for all the cupboards, and that's how I determine your delivery. But if you want to go in and see what your planned orders look like, you're going to go into your dashboard, click on orders, click on manage orders, and then you're going to be able to this is a sample of seeing what the planned orders look like. You can see there's an order number. You can see the troop number where it says TO, that's the troop number. And then if you can see, and I'm not sure how well this is going to show, but there's these little 3 dots over here on the end. When you click on that, you'll have the option of approving the order. And if you click on approve, boom, the cookies are transferred. That's all you have to do with that planned order. If you click on edit, you can go in and actually change the numbers. So for example, I said that maybe they decided to get 1 less case of Thin Mints. You can subtract 1 case of Thin Mints over here and make it, 107 cases of Thin Mints instead of 108. Or you can go ahead and delete the whole thing if you want. So those are the options that will show up over there. And again, somebody may call you and say, hey, it's raining this weekend. We're not going to have our booth. Just delete our whole planned order. And you can go ahead and do that very simply. This is showing in packages. You can do it either in cases or packages. We usually do all of the planned orders in full cases. So most likely that's how it's going to look when you pull it up. Oh, there I go. You can see where that's the options showing right there. I thought there was a delete button on there, but it's not showing right there. So we'll have to look at that again. All right, the next thing you're going to do is if you've got people picking up cookies that are not part of a planned order, they just want to come by and pick up a case of cookies, or they've got a planned order and maybe they want to add a couple more and you've approved the planned order, but now you need to get them some other cookies. Or say they just want loose packages of cookies. That's another option. You're going to go into orders. You're going to click on transfer order. And this is what it's going to look like. Now this will be in packages. This section is in packages. So you'll list the number of packages by variety. And then when you get to the bottom, this is what the bottom half of the screen looks like. You're going to hit save. If you have the time and energy and you want to type something in the notes, the date pops up on the receipt anyway, but you could type something in the notes such as extra Thin Mint beyond planned order or something like that. And you could type that in there. So that's what those transfers look like. I'm going to show you a little bit about how some of the reports that you can run. So when you go onto your dashboard, you've got reports and then you've got current. You have the option to look at some archived reports, but you probably won't use those for any reason. It's only going to give you a couple years that you can go back and look at some other reports. But the ones that we're going to look at the most closely are inventory and delivery is what you're going to click on this left side. And then over on the right side, you're going to see a couple options, and covered inventory will give you whatever that inventory is that you have at the moment. So if you've had a really busy day at the cupboard and you've had people come by, you probably haven't had time to go into the computer and actually make changes at that time. So what we recommend you do is you write down all of the pickups on a receipt in your receipt book. You could give the troop leader or the parent a copy of the receipt. You keep the first copy, the white copy, in the receipt book. And then later on, when you've got some time to go down and make the transfers, you can do it. If you don't have a laptop, you can do it on an iPad, or you can do it on your phone if you'd like. It's pretty simple to go in and make those transfers. But once all the transfers are made, then your inventory will show up correct in the system. If you want to go in and pull any other kind of report, or especially the covered inventory, this is what it's going to look like when you're going in to pull on that. I think I showed you the first couple of steps where you push covered inventory. This is what it looks like where it says covered. You click on your cupboard. I'm not sure you're going to have access to any other cupboard. And there's always the potential that you might be looking for a certain date. You want to know what your inventory was before you started making transfers today. So you can go in and put, yesterday's date in there and pull it up that way. And you also have the option of pulling it by cases or packages. This little drop down will let you change. And you've got the option of choosing it by PDF or by Excel. And this is an example of what the report looks like when you pull it. And this gives me, again, by cases, it gives me the full breakdown of exactly what cookies I have at the moment. All right, if any problems arise, if there's anything that comes up about Dunmore with the delivery or the quality of the product, or inventory, or you get some kind of a weird request from the media or any conflict, because we just never know what's going to happen. Those are times when I want you to contact me immediately. I'll make sure everybody's got my number. I can't always pick up the phone if I'm in a meeting or something, but if you text me, I try really hard to keep an eye on that. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you've got questions that are coming up that are more general, like they're about digital cookie or smart cookies, or how to someone's get logged on to smart cookies or something like that, those are going to be answered a lot quicker if they go directly to the help desk. And these are the contact numbers. During the cookie season, it's almost impossible to find me at my desk. I'm usually either in one of the cookie cupboards or I'm meeting with someone else. So I always recommend that you guys use my cell number. If you need to get in touch with me, if you leave me a message at the office, I will do my best to get back with you, but it's a lot quicker to reach me on my cell. And then the help desk, we do have people who check the help desk over the weekends and in the evenings. I can't promise you that you'll get a speedy reply at nights and weekends, but we do try to keep an eye on that too. So anything that we can help you with on the help desk, by all means, go and look there. Or I'm sorry, send it there. And that's the bulk of what I wanted to go over with you guys tonight. So thank you all for what you do. I'm not gonna hop off yet because I want to see what kind of questions you have. And if you feel comfortable with smart cookies a little bit, or would you like me to actually open up smart cookies and walk you through some of the transfers or things?
Sheila, I think the only question I have is, do we have delivery dates for when we are going to get cookies delivered at our cupboards, or is that still being to be determined?
It's still to be determined, unfortunately. I've sent all of the deliveries are with Dunmore right now, and I reached out to them again this morning first thing and said, as soon as you've got those delivery dates, we really need them. I have people trying to plan their work schedules and their lives around them, so I'm hoping I will get them really soon. What I think is going to happen, and I can't promise this, but I think most of the cupboards are you're probably going to get most of your deliveries between Monday and Wednesday next week, because we've got big drive-throughs on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Dunmore doesn't have nearly as many staff as they used to. So I think they're going to try to get all the cupboard deliveries in those first few days. Again, I could be wrong, and until they confirm that with me, I can't be positive, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Because all of their staff will be helping to load cookies at those big drive-throughs.
Sounds good. Okay. I'm
Sure.
sure you will let us know as soon as you know.
I sure will. And again, I will, a lot of times when we're doing deliveries, I will send out a large Excel spreadsheet with a lot of information on it, just because a lot of times that's as fast as I can get, the fastest way to get it to you. So you'll probably get that. And then what I will do is I will then go into Smart Cookies and I will transfer the cookies from our master cupboard into your cupboard. And then that's how the cookies get populated. Sometimes if we're really, really busy, and we all know that sometimes cookies gets really, really busy. If I get behind on that and you make transfers, you might see a negative in your cupboard. Don't panic. I'm going to get them in there as soon as possible and it will all balance out. What other questions do you guys have?
So we will have them before the 20th, which is
Oh,
where.
yes. Yes.
Okay, because last couple of years, we got them the day that we opened. So that's.
Yeah. I'm feeling really confident that this year it's going to be the opposite. And I think the rural deliveries and the cupboard deliveries are going to be before the drive-through. So it's about time. Some people are have been waiting for that. So I'll let you know again as soon as I've got the dates. Jennifer,
Can I make a request that you try not to deliver Tappahannock on Monday because I'm actually out part of the day in Richmond for doctor's appointments. So I won't even be here.
Okay.
So if you could, Tuesday or Wednesday would be better for me.
I am going to, you know what, would you just send me a text, Jennifer,
Mhm.
so that I can remind myself to call Dunmore in the morning and just ask them if they can do that?
I mean, if it has to be Monday, then I'll have to try and make other arrangements with my husband, who's always ready to divorce me during cookie season.
We don't
But-
want that to happen.
No, but to see, or for someone else, but I have a doctor's appointment scheduled that morning, so I'm going into work late, and then they're gonna really love me walking in and saying, hey, hi, bye, I gotta go back home now to deliver cookies, for the cookie delivery, so.
I absolutely get it. And I know a couple other people have had similar requests,
Yeah.
based on their schedule. So just send me a text or an email to remind me to contact them in the morning and see if we can make that work.
Okay.
Okay.
I do have a question, Miss Sheila. So
Is it
you
Pam?
said they're gonna deliver our cookies before the drive-through.
I am pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, again, I can't promise that, but I think this is going to be like the first year that you guys are going to get your cookies before the drive-through.
Okay.
And
So if they're delivering cookies before the drive-through, can they just bring my cookies when they come?
Possibly. Again, shoot me a text or an email and I will see if I can add that in. But
Okay.
let me find out the dates first, because if we do all that and then they're coming after the drive-through, that would not work.
Okay.
But again, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be earlier next week than the drive-throughs. But yeah, Pam, we'll see if we can figure that out. And the one thing I would ask is if if you get your cookies in Tappahannock on Tuesday, I would appreciate you not opening up your cupboard until we start the drive-throughs.
Okay.
Because then you're going to have a mad rush of people trying to get cookies and adding on a booth real quick. And it's just a little bit more fair to everybody. I won't make you wait until the 20th to open your cupboard. If you have people asking for cookies and you want to open early, you can go ahead and do that. But the big cupboards won't be opening until the Tuesday after we do the drive-throughs.
Most people don't ask me until after the first weekend of booth sales, except for 2 years ago when I guess we had the major shortage of cookies, and like we hadn't even gotten our cookies, or they were delivered on the same day, and I had people from all over like Richmond area and calling me, and Tappahannock hadn't even, they had literally just dropped the cookies off. I hadn't even gone through anything when I was getting texts, hey, this is so-and-so from Troop, whatever. I'm like, so they, it's like, we haven't even gotten them.
Yeah. And as many of you know, we had a glitch with digital cookies syncing with smart cookies. And so that's why we went through and called all the troops to try and figure out if their initial order was correct in the system. The system started correcting itself and we just had a lot of questions. So I'm saying all that because if someone, for those of you who have rural deliveries, if someone shows up and their initial order is incorrect, we'll do whatever we need to do to make it right, whether it's taking cookies back or whether it's giving them an extra case that they need or something like that. So we'll just do whatever we need to do to make sure everybody's got the correct order. We did our best to talk to every troop and try to make sure that it was all correct before we sent the delivery tickets in. But again, we'll work with people. All right, any other questions? Let me check the chat real quick. All right, I don't see any questions, especially for those of you who are new, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, you'll have a list. I've put the 3 new cupboards in some more news this week. So that information will be going out to everybody. And you guys will have each other's numbers through that and through the cookie book that already is printed. And so I hope that if you need help, you can reach out to each other, or by all means, don't hesitate to contact me. I always tell people I'd much rather I go to bed early, I admit that, but I'd much rather you call me at 10 o'clock at night if something urgent is happening than for me to hear about it, first thing the next morning by somebody who had nothing to do with it. And I'm getting the story all wrong, because that tends to be how the world works. So again, don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you. Thank you for all you do. I really appreciate you taking this on, and it's a great benefit to the organization.
Thank you.
Thank
Right,
you. Good night, you guys.
Yeah. Good night.
Night.
Good night.